Well, you know, every week we're joined by attorney Phil Harding. And Phil, you've really got some great stuff and some calls from people who have called in they've been in an accident and they're like, wait a minute, what do I do? What advice do you give them?
We're going to see how many we can go over, and very quickly to start off with. And let's look at the screen. First of all, don't talk to the other side's insurance company. And let me tell you why. Because there's a law in Colorado that specifically says if you are injured, it is illegal for the other side to call you within 15 days. But they do it anyway. So if they're doing that, why don't you ask them why they're violating Colorado law? Next, you think that they're paying your medical bills, right? Let's say the other side calls you up and says, we've accepted liability. Send us your medical bills. Wrong. They write one check and only one check at the very end. So don't send them your medical bills. The other thing is when they call you right after the accident, they say, where are you injured? And you might a day or two feel it in your neck or your back.
Right.
And then as you get treatment, it goes to the arms or legs. So when you go to settle, they all of a sudden say, wait a second, you only said the neck and the back. That's the only thing that we're going to pay for.
That's so
Next, you need to seek medical treatment. So if you are injured, go and see a doctor. But not only see a doctor, you need to follow the doctor's orders. And here's an example. If the doctor says, hey, I want you to go to 10 physical therapies, you go to the first 3 and you blow off the other 7 because it doesn't help, the other side's going to say you failed to mitigate your damages. You really aren't that injured, so gee, we're not going to pay you as much. So if the first 3 don't work, go back to the doctor and say, you know what, PT doesn't work, let's try something else. And he'll say massage therapy, chiropractic, any of that. Next, when you are treating, and this is super important, I want you to use your health insurance, Medicaid, or Medicare. So if you go immediately to the hospital, they're going to ask you for the other guy's insurance that ran into you. You make sure that they bill your health insurance.
Why? But why use your own medical insurance?
Remember, the other side, they only write one check and only one check at the very end. And let's go over this. If you have health insurance, Medicaid, or Medicare, you've seen this all the time. They're called EOBs, stands for an explanation of benefits. And everyone's seen this, right? You go to the emergency room and ask for a tissue and they charge you $5,000, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, so here's a real visit to Swedish. They billed $29,000. Your health insurance comes back and says, you know what, normal and customary, we reduced this by $20,000 and the amount covered by the plan is $8,500, right? So in this one billing alone, if you would have sent this to the other side without it being redacted, and redacted means covering up, they would have said, oh, covered by the plan is $8,500. Here's $8,500 for that bill at the end. Wrong. You got this discount because you've been paying for health insurance premiums, right?
Yes, exactly. Your own health insurance.
Not the guy who ran into you. So when this medical bill goes over, you cover up or redact everything else, and you would have gotten $29,000 just on this medical bill alone, right? Instead of the $8,500. Now that's just on one medical bill. You get when you settle all your medical bills, pain and suffering, disfigurement, future treatment, all of that. But I'm telling you, on this one mistake alone, you would have lost out on $21,000 if you made that mistake.
See, this is why you need to reach out to Phil Harding. There's information at the bottom of your screen I'm going to give to you. We have about 30 seconds left. What else should we be looking out for?
Statute of limitations, watch out for this, okay? First of all, if you're hurt by the government, like on the state capitol, you have to send a special notice within 182 days. Here in Colorado, auto accident, 3 years. You have to either settle your case or file a lawsuit. Same with slip and fall. And normally you don't settle a case until you've reached what's known as MMI, maximum medical improvement. But even if you're not at MMI, you have to file before 3 years on an auto accident and 2 years on a slip and fall. So talk to an attorney. Just watch out for those statute of limitations.
I love that you come on and you give us all this information. I mean, just to say to the other insurance, why are you breaking the law? That is so powerful. Thank you so much. You can reach out to Harding and Associates directly. Call this number. It's 303-762-9500. You can also get a free consultation anytime. That's a free consultation. You can also learn more. Go to hlaw.com. That's hlaw.com. Phil, again, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for sponsoring this segment.
Thank you.